Hello everybody, this is Enayat Meer. I am back with my new video series about certificate services. So at this time I am going to show you these 5 virtual machines. On the way I will perform everything what is possible from my end, and I will pause and go because I don't want you to watch every single basic step which I am going to perform. So you do have my previous videos on YouTube, and I am actually going to provide you link over here, or from the video header you can see my name. So this will be enough for you to type on YouTube to see all of my videos. So this will be a 2-tier certificate deployment, and I'm going to show you part 1 of that one. So these are the 5 virtual machines. I named them based on my guide which I am using right now, and you will see a new modified guide, and I am going to post information or a link under this video description. So this will not be only a one video. So actually this video I am going to spread in different parts, so I don't want you to feel boring. So on the top you will see that NYC DC1. Currently this will be just a work group. So I am going to start adding my virtual machine. I am using a Windows Server 2008 R2 physical server with about 56 gigabyte of memory, and I am going to add this NYC DC1 as a first virtual server on Hyper-V, and I am going to give them a name NYC-DC1. It is not a domain yet, so I will promote this as a domain controller in my second video, and here I have to specify the amount of memory. So this will be used a lot and needs a little power, so I am going to add about 3 gigabyte memory, and I am going to add external network cards. So I have 2 network cards, one internal, one external. So actually for initial purposes I have to update my Windows with the operating system, so that is why. So I am having 150 gigabyte hard drive, and I am gonna use from here my ISO, which is a Windows Server 2008 R2 ISO. So this was my NYC DC1. I can use the same ISO actually for all servers, and I can just have to mount that ISO when I start installation, and I can use that one. So this is my second server. So I am going to point out to you, actually I will have a split screen so you can see what I am going to install. So I am going to actually have this second virtual server CA02 CA. What your understanding should be like that, certificate authority. So here I am going to add a memory. So these remaining servers I would like to have about 2 gigabyte memory. That will be enough, and I will keep a standard of 150 gigabyte of hard drive space, like a C drive only at this time. And again I am using my ISO which I downloaded, and you can download this also. It is good for about 6 to approximately 10 months if you do SLMGR on it, so approximately a year. So this is a third one which will be a standalone CA, root CA. We will keep them offline, as you see that my title is 2-tier certificate deployment. So first tier is a standalone root CA, and then I will have under it issuing CA, which is which will be a subordinate CA. Again same setup, same amount of hard drive, 150 gigabyte, and I am putting this ISO from my E drive from my physical server, and now I have a CO01 also ready for installation. Now is S or V1. Usually in Microsoft virtual environment we put name like an SVR1 and SRV, just I let it go like that. So in my guide, so again this guide will be available for you guys, and this will be about from 30 to 40 pages long guide throughout of these all settings. So currently I am showing you only initial part because I am just installing my virtual machine first. The first part I am doing right now. So this is my fourth virtual server, and same way I am going to install these all machines, virtual machines. The bottom one you see in my ISO is a Windows 7. So one will be the last one is a Windows 7 machine, which I am going to skip because you know the procedure now, what I am installing, how I am doing this, and that's how I want to start and wanted to start this one. So we have now in other words, we have now the way we have is now that I gave them names of those virtual machines, like just not, these are not the host name of those machines, but these will become host name, but these are the names only which I am going to use actually. So currently my Hyper-V manager will show these names, and we are going to install first operating system. Then we have to change IP address as I mentioned in orange color section, and then I have to set this PC for Windows update. This is actually Windows 7 which I am going to show you. So these are all 5 virtual machines are basically available now to install operating system. So sometimes you guys do not have audio available. So this is a kind of habit I used to make my videos with just notes only, typings on the screen. Usually you see that I have already posted over 100 videos actually with or without audio. So it all depends that what is your demand, and some viewers like me to add some audio. So I am going to start adding some audio in these videos too. So again on the back end you see that is my Hyper-V manager, and the way we add operating system simply, because my DVD is already mounted which contains Windows 2008 R2, actually WIM file which contains multiple operating systems. So what I am going to do here, accept the agreement, install now option I will choose, and I will choose Windows Server 2008 R2 Enterprise or Standard. So at this time I would like to choose Enterprise. I want to make this standard actually for all servers, and later on what we have to do, we will have to install Windows updates. So for that reason, because none of them will be a domain controller at this moment and in this video, so I will take advantage of my own setup the way I have in my home network actually, where I do have my ISP and have a set up IPs, and I did set up my router based on my IP scheme on these 5 servers. And actually I am also working with as a parallel, I am working with Active Directory Federation Services videos. So I am doing the same thing in Active Directory Federation Services videos as well. I am using the same IP scheme, and because I did create all Hyper-V virtual machines from scratch, so of course I need to go and do Windows update which is required. Also I have to do actually a service pack update, which is also very important to do that. So I will have these servers finally up and running, ready with Windows Server 2008 R2 Enterprise, with service pack 1. So you can imagine that how long this can take. So currently I am installing operating system on all of those virtual machines which you are looking at this moment. NYC DC1. Now I'm showing you from back end my Hyper-V manager, where you can see that I have this setup and give them these name under my Hyper-V. On the top of the screen you also can see these servers name actually. This installation takes time. On the way I am mentioning here that because this is a long way to go, I don't want you to keep watching me, but I will pause and go because I am present on screen at this time here, and I am going to split in between. So like as you see that on the background, yes, I am writing a couple of notes for those who do not have audio, and I am speaking for those who do have audio and who actually want me to have an audio. So on the back end now you can see I have multiple operating systems are running, and a percentage you can see that on the back end, and you will see sudden jump on this percentage because I will not keep this on screen and keep my videos running, because I would like to pause and then come back as needed. So here I am mentioning about 4 hours this could, or maybe installation and updates could take about 4 hours, but if you include service pack 1 on all of those servers and complete updates of Windows client, then by default on this ISO I am going to get Internet Explorer version 8. So I will update on the way also. Yes, definitely when I do my Windows update after the installation, I will do my updates as well. So now on the back you see a sudden jump. So I'm about 97%, 98%, 99% is coming up. So you will see these back-end installation in real life. You need to give yourself a little time for installation. Again, the trick is that you can use a single ISO. You can mount into multiple servers for the same ISO, or to the multiple clients same ISO, and you can start installation at the same time. So currently on the back end I am running installation on all servers, as you can see on the back end, and I will keep running, and they will have one and one. They will have approximately 2 reboots, and after reboots, so you have to go search for Windows update on all of these servers. Of course, you also have to set up a IP address. Okay, so IP address scheme I provided you, and you will see that one. As you see on the back end, the progress is very good actually. I'm almost done with the installation. This will show you on the left hand PC first reboot, and then other PCs also are doing the same thing, and after reboot they will come back and they will do again complete these configurations. So once you are done, and then we're gonna have to set up the way the my guide is. So all you have to do, look at under the description. So of course I did not post this video as of now, but as soon I am done, part by part I will post these videos, and I will keep showing you few things on the back end while I'm talking. That's how it happens, and that's how you can do as well. So on the back end you see multiple machines are running, and they're doing installation, and once installation is done, then very first screen you will see, which I may gonna pause for that, for the admin password. So you have to choose your password which you can remember. Once you log in, you also can go and rename that account, and you choose actually any customized account. And I would say that you guys should have a backup account in your computer management. So if you create a backup account under computer management on any of these servers now, because these are all under a work group, so that will be a good idea. NYC-DC1 actually you are going to uh, promote as a domain controller, and what gonna happen that local account whatever you have as an admin, so that will be automatically migrated into Active Directory. So that you have to keep in mind. So here you have on the back nice and clean installation running on, and this is the final moment actually. So once you done this one, and this is a last reboot guys, you will see that, guys and girls whoever is watching my videos, you will see that after the last reboot, the next step will be, which I will do offline, just to change the password or reset the password for administrator account, and then log into the servers, and then do post installation. So one of them, as I told you, that will be your Windows update, but before that you will actually set up the password. So here now I logged in, I reset my password, and I paused the video, and but I have completed all of these 5 computers, virtual servers and client setup. Then as I am typing on the back end also, again I said that I am typing because I know that there are some viewers, they want me always to have some writing on it. In this way you would see that what I have done, what I'm doing at this time. Okay, so the second thing is that IP address. So that is a self-explanatory. I don't have to explain to you how you're gonna change the IP address, but I will still go and show you on the way, because I don't look at everyone as a very experienced viewer. We do have some viewers, they are not very expert in computers, and possibly they would like to see some steps, and I also offer you that guys, you can always email me. You will see my email in most of my videos. I have over 100 videos with email under heading or under headers or footers, so where you can email me and ask me any setup guide what you are watching on YouTube. So you can request for that setup guide, and I can simply email you. I do have this in my environment, so I do save all of my work on my server, and you see now I have these all nicely 5 computers up and running. And now we have several ways actually where you can go and look at the settings, look at the TCP/IP properties. You can use simple control panel, and you can go and look at the IP address. So based on the settings I provided you, I am going to have a static IP address. So on the back end you will see that on NYC DC1 is 192.168.1.20. This will be actually a DNS server as well, because this will be a domain controller. This is the main domain controller which will be running actually Active Directory, group policy, everything. So here I am using 1.1. This is the IP address is provided from my end also, because I am using the same IP scheme. At this moment I am having my preferred DNS as my ISP's provided DNS, which is actually my router's DNS, which I did integrate from my ISP. So it looks like my ISP, but it is actually my Linksys router's IP address, which is connected to my ISP. And also by default you see that when you install a virtual computer, it takes a default host name, which I don't want. So I want to have my first server as NYC DC1, because this will become a contoso.com domain later on. Currently if you look at FQDN, fully qualified domain name, this will be just simple this name, which is my server name, which is my recommended server name, which you will see throughout the guide. So my guide will show you this all, and you have to follow along the way I am setting up. If you do have 4 servers and 1 client available, you don't have to go through this all. You might have to demote, promote, or work group to domain controller, rename your servers if you want to, if you want to follow along with my guide, or you can customize this guide, setup guide, and you can make the way you want to make with your own environment. So I'm just providing you a reference, and this is a new way, another way. And CPA.cpl also will give you, this is a network control panel applet command which will take you to your network properties where you can go and change the IP address. So I am on CA02 certificate authority. This is the name I gave it to this server, and every server basically will have a preferred DNS 1.20 that will become later on a domain controller. So that will actually be a real IP address of every server. So because of my Windows update, I am using my default gateway with my own setup. So this is a CA02. I changed the IP address. Now I am going to change the host name and reboot, and that's how I am going to do with these all servers. CA01 will be a standalone offline root CA. So even I am putting it into the same network at this moment. So you can ping actually to each other. So what I gonna do here, I will have this firewalled later on. So we should not be able to communicate, but for the lab purpose it's fine. In real life, not really. In real life, you know that you have to take this server offline because this is acting as a standalone root CA. So standalone root CA for security purposes has to be offline. Okay. So but when we do configure this server and other servers in between, I will show you configuring policy.inf file and some other parameters and some other commands on the way. There is a long way to go actually. So this is just a start for the basic setup for those who actually want to work with me. And by the way, I'm doing this CA01 right now. So I'm changing IP address. So if you want to go along and work with me on the back end, I'm doing my work also while I'm talking to, what I'm doing on the back end, giving them IP scheme, changing the IP address, giving them default gateway and IP address, and changing the computer name. As you know that when you build your new computers from scratch, you won't see the host name what you want to, or any option on the way where you can change a host name actually. So I let it go like that, and then I'm showing you right now. So I am changing IP address the way I want to change, the IP scheme what I have, because I want to work with my environment, with virtual environment, the way communication goes. As long as communication goes, I want to keep communicating between all of these computers and servers and clients as a one network. So later on I will put these all servers into my remote desktop management actually window. So here now we have configured actually these virtual machines, and I'm renaming these names as S or V1. So in my other server videos I use actually SVR1. Here I'm using S or V1 anyways. As long as we know what names we have, that is fine. So these are coming back, these servers are coming back, and in other words, as just keep in mind the whole picture. So what we are doing here, we are going to prepare a certificate environment, certificate hierarchy, certificate authority hierarchy. We are going to have a root CA, and then under that we are going to have actually an issuing CA or subordinate CA under that. So this is a two-tier environment, and most of the companies in production really have this environment. So by looking at these videos, you're gonna get an idea, and you want to set up your own small test environment, and this you could take this as a test environment because this is a test environment. So here I am just setting up these servers. I am not sitting in a production, actually I am sitting in my own small network, my own Hyper-V network, where I am setting up these all videos, putting up these things together. But at my job, yes, of course, I do have another development environment and then a production environment, but that has nothing to do with it. This is just a learning environment here. So we are learning here, we are looking at how we can do this setup, and there is a zero of the roles or features I have installed at this moment. So on the back end, if you can see, my fingers are moving, but I am talking at the same time. But you see that everything on the back end what is required to do. So what I am doing, the first thing I said that I will install, then I will configure IP address, then I will configure hostname and IP address, and then reboot. And we had several reboots also, and now I am going to look for Windows updates because I configured my internets. Currently I see IE8, and while we do Windows update, actually you are going to get a message to update your Windows Explorer. So here this is annoying pop-ups, you can get rid of that. So I will show you once I close this one, and you will see that I will do offline actually on the back end, but let me show you once. You have to go into your server wherever you are, and you have to look at configure IE escape ESC on all the way down right side. But you see all other options there too, you can look at those options too, but you're gonna configure IE to off. In this way you will get rid of those pop-ups. You don't have to go to internet options and go and configure security and go one by one to everything. So here set up your home page and you are good to go. So you will have internet and you will be able to search for Windows Update and do search Windows Update, find Windows Update, go to each server, download Windows updates, and then after that install Windows updates, and that's the way you go. And the very final moment, I will actually set up a very brief small video for a few more minutes separately for service pack updates. I have actually posted some of them. If you would like to search, you can search with my name, and you will see server Windows server update or Windows service pack 1 updates. You will see several of my previous videos where I did my Windows updates actually and service pack 1 updates. But I'm planning to have one more short video also after this video where I will show you my whole setup, and I'm going to add this all environment into a small window with one single screen. So you can see, you can access actually these all servers in one shot. Okay, so Windows update for Windows 7 are done. Let's reboot. Okay, so on the back end or offline I have done this all. You had 4 servers and 1 client. This is my Windows 7 client which you're looking at right now. The name is WIN7. As you see in my guide, very last number is WIN7. So this is a Win7. I rename it, but I put it a little memory 1 gigabyte for this because this is a client. Really does not need that much. So you can restart this now and then check one more time Windows update, and then you will see that how this goes. Once you reboot, you will check that. Okay, so I'm just typing in as well in this way in case if you want to. So here you see on my NYC DC one, so we got 352 megabyte of Windows updates, about 129 Windows updates, and this will continue. Actually this is a big task. In other words, is not a difficult task, but I would say is a time consuming task. CA02 also found some updates. We are trying to look for them, and we actually can go and install now, and then after that it will download also, and then you have to click on install updates as well. You have to accept agreement. This is my CA02 on the other end, and here you also can just queue them. At least they will start installation. So this installation, definitely this is CA01 back. So Windows update are installed, and then you have to now run this to download actually. So this will download about again 129 important updates. So most recent check is a 955, and now it's gonna check again. It will bring up about 129 at this moment different updates which you are going to run. So now you can click on install now. So this will install actually Windows Update software, not really Windows Update, but this software will bring Windows Update. So you will be able to download Windows Update, and once you download, then you can actually install updates. Once you install updates, then you reboot, and you will be actually up to date. So here, so far I am stopping this video here as my first part of these videos. What I did here, if you look at the number 1 to number 5, these all set up. All set up what I did from scratch. I used my physical server, I used my Hyper-V environment where I installed these all servers, and then I did set up my IP address, and then I did set up my host names. I initiated Windows updates, and Windows update is actually working on the back end, and this will take several hours. Several hours means that when you do service pack update, that is really a time consuming. So that will take a lot of time, but I would say that once everything is done, I will give you a very brief another video which will show you all new updates, and I will give you another small video, the second video actually, with some overview of little bit service pack one. So I want to actually really give you I decided to come back with a very brief video, another one for a few minutes, to let you know that you don't have to download about 2 point some gigabyte service pack 2 files. So you simply can go Windows update, and you can do from Windows update, you can actually update to service pack 1 directly. So that will be another brief video between this video and my real second video for your certificate environment. So I will post this video, and you will see this is posted, and you will see a link for other environments. So whatever is required, actually I will keep changing my description and link anyways. So let's see what's gonna happen in my next video. I will continue from this, so I will promote this from now on. I will promote this nycdc12contoso.com, and then this will become a DNS and DC, and also DNS server, and then I'm going to configure actually some other options from certificate authority. So thank you for watching this video. This is Enayat Meer, and I will see you shortly in my second video. So please search my other videos, and if you search through my name, you will see all of my videos. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a while. Bye.